So on today's episode, video, whatever the fuck you want to call it, you guys know what it is at this point. Um, Army of Darkness. I like it. Kind of classic. It is a classic. Um, the visual effects are dated, but it just kind of adds to the charm of the movie, in my opinion. Um, Big Dog likes it. What do you guys think? That's what I want to know. Welcome, YouTube. This is the Hit or Miss Show with the Big Dog right here. I'm Lucky, y'all. And today's subject is Army of Darkness. This is the Screwhead of it. I don't know why they made it the Screwhead edition. They only changed one word in the whole thing, and I think it's from fuckheads to screwheads. I just don't think it deserves a full edition because all they did was just change one word. I don't know. Just a random thought. Version, which basically means they take a small part of it. He says fuckheads, but then they replace it with screwheads in this video.
Which I don't know why they did that, but...
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But it's got Bruce Campbell, which is the B-rated king. He's been in so many B-rated films, it's not funny. He's made appearances in Spider-Man,
yeah.
Darkman, at the very ending.
He was also in the
Burn Notice
as an alcoholic ex-FBI agent.
Right. Now, that being said, we got everything we need for our episode. We got our beverages.
I'm sorry, the candy cane.
We have our Florida State flag, and we have the topic, which we already went over.
Yes, Army of Darkness.
Army of fucking Darkness.
The third film of the Evil Dead series.
Which is weird, because the original two films, they were horror. The other two, Army of Darkness, the one before, it was like Evil Dead 2. Those were prequels. No, they were leading up to this one. The Army of Darkness. But those two were horror, and this one was like a slapstick horror. It was funny. It was cheesy. It's one of them cheesy films that are, don't have the best special effects, but it just goes with the film so well. So you kind of just give it a pass. But yeah.
Oh my god, they were beyond horror.
This is a slapstick.
Oh yeah.
With a little bit of horror interjected in it.
Yeah, and this came out with another series called Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Right, it started on Showtime, right? So Ash vs. the Evil Dead, the TV series. I'm not quite sure if that's the name, but somewhere around them lines. I happen to think it was a great TV show. Some people didn't like it. Difference of opinion. But for me, it was definitely worth the watch.
Yes, it started on Showtime, and then they started playing certain episodes on cable. The ones that, weren't that bad.
Could be played.
Yeah, that could be played on cable. Which now they're letting people get away with a lot of the stuff on cable.
All right.
Like the other day I was watching a show and the guy said, shit. Right. On cable TV. Now, before, that would have never have happened. Yeah, so like I was saying, I would never do that on TV where they'd drop the shit.
Right.
I mean, hell, when I used to watch The Simpsons and all that, I'm like, Beavis and Butthead, when they said like ass or damn or you little bastard, I thought that was going too far, but
it's funny because on TV you can't say asshole, you can say ass, and you can say hole, but you can't say asshole.
Yeah, TV's fucking weird.
Yeah, but the story goes, there's this guy, our hero. He's kind of a dick, but his name is Ashley, which is, old-timey. It was people in Southern, that's an old Southern name for men back in the old times.
Yeah, most people call him Ash.
Right, most people call him Ash.
Which is kind of funny because in the Evil Dead movie, Ash was kind of like a coward of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you would not think of him being a hero of the franchise later on down the road because he was such a coward in the first movie.
Right, and like, he is such a badass character because I guess in the first film, he cuts off his... Like, this dude literally lobs off his fucking hand with a chainsaw. Then he replaces his hand with the exact same chainsaw. I guess, like, his hand was getting infected, and so it wouldn't spread into the rest of his body. He just went right off his hand. And he, when he's not using the chainsaw, he has a wooden hand that goes on it that looks like a regular hand. It's just made out of wood. His arm.
Yeah.
His hand, like right here. And he replaces it with an old timey chainsaw.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's got his boomstick because he works at, what is it, Value Mark or something like that.
Yeah.
He works at some generic Walmart ripoff.
Yeah. Yeah, this was good. The series was good. But like I said, if you can get past the first two Evil Dead movies and then watch this, you're gonna be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, because it goes from blood and gore to slapstick at its best.
Yeah. That'd be like Jigsaw turning into a family sitcom. Like halfway through this franchise.
Right, and like the whole story is he's been sent back in time and he's got to get back to the present time, and they send him after this book that he has to say this very specific phrase. So like this specific phrase he's supposed to say before he picks up the book, he gets like 2 parts of it right. And it goes blah, 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 blah. And it creates a whole different world of wormholes. I'm not going to be giving too much away of it. But, like, there's little versions of him running around causing hell. It's funny. You guys have to watch it. If he doesn't, it can all go to shit. And he doesn't. Yeah. And it all goes to shit. It's funny, it's hilarious, it's got some horror in it, but it's more funny horror than anything.
Yeah, this is one of them small cases where comedy horror works.
Right.
And like I said, if you watch our Freddy video, you'll see that I said it doesn't usually work, comedy and horror.
Now, I know we normally give films hard times about their special. As I said, the special effects are kind of dated. But it just goes with the movie, like I said earlier. I don't know, this movie just wouldn't have been the same if it had great special effects. Maybe because, like, the film itself ain't, like, digital or looks real good or anything. It's just an old movie. I don't think it's ever been digitally remastered. It might have been. But anywho, special effects, yeah. What else we got up in here? Special effects and whatnot, but this one's so horrible it just fits with the movie. Like, look,
they actually had 2 different companies working in the special effects.
Right, and like the fucking skeletons was cheesy as fuck.
You get 2 companies to come in there to work on your special effects. You can't get it right with 2 companies. That's just as bad as having 5 writers write one movie.
Right. What about the part where he's got to make gunpowder for his gun?
Yeah.
And he makes that machine to kill all the Deadites, and they're the bad people. So Ash Ketchum, not Ketchum. God damn it! I'm sorry, y'all. Ash. He gets sent back in time to the medieval times. He gets sent back with his car. And because he's back in medieval times, he has to make gunpowder from some chemistry book he had in his trunk. I don't know, it just seems kind of like it was well placed at the time because dude don't seem like he knows nothing about chemistry. And the car, the car was just a monstrosity. It was a fucking deadite killing machine. I guess, There's this book called the Necronomicon, I think it is.
Necronomicon.
Basically, it's bound in human skin. The pages, I don't know what they're made from, but the ink's from blood.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be some bad mojo jojo, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, they actually had for a while, they tried to get one going, a convention on Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and all the stuff that came with it after Army of Darkness.
Right.
Because if I'm not mistaken, they made an Army of Darkness 2. But I'm not sure.
We'll have to do some research on
Yeah.
that. I just did the research. There's no Army of Darkness 2 out. I guess it's still in the works. I don't really know. I guess we'll find out if they ever put it out and if it's any good.
Yeah, but anyways, they had it. It was called Necronomicon, and it was all things Evil Dead related. And it only lasted a couple years, and it kind of tanked because this movie didn't gain the cult following that it did until much later. So yeah, like I said, the Comic-Con, the Necronomicon, based around the Army of Darkness, didn't really pick off and as well as they hoped.
Yeah, it was a small cult
Back then, it was
following.
a small cult following. But then when they remade the reboot of the Evil Dead movie, then they came out Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Right.
Well, they had Ash versus the Evil Dead, and they have Ash and the Evil Dead,
Right.
which are two totally different shows, even though they're both horror comedy shows. But yeah, then when they started doing that in the later 2000s, it started getting back a following again. Whether they are going to do a convention again, I doubt it, since everything that's been happening these last 3 years. But,
Like, they portray Ash as, like, he's so self-centered. He doesn't really do much for anything. The whole reason he's going home is because he wants to go home. He doesn't give a fuck about helping these people.
yeah, right?
If he would have, he wouldn't have gone like blah 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 and fucked it up.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because that was a huge change in his character.
Big dog, big dog, big dog. I wouldn't say it was a huge change in his character. I would say he's always been kind of a coward and, you know, kind of a dick. You know, from the beginning I said he was kind of an asshole. This is just his asshole showing.
From the first movie.
Right. He was like...
He was trying to help his friends. He was trying to get...
Alright, you got me. Maybe he is different from the first movie. I don't ever remember watching the first movie.
himself out of danger as much as possible.
And this all started with a freaky ass cabin in the fucking woods.
Yeah, where a woman reads a book.
Yep.
Yep.
Side note, Cabin in the Woods, the movie, which has nothing to do with this one.
It's a good movie.
I like that movie. We'll probably go into it eventually.
Especially when they go, like, when they found out that the cabin's not really a cabin, it's an underground base.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell.
But like, in the beginning of the Evil Dead movie, like, when they're pulling, because they take their friend into the cabin because she's going through some shit. Okay, there's a lot of things you could do with a friend going through shit. Sit in their house or take it to your house, get some alcohol, get drunk, smoke some pot, or whatever you do.
It's funny because in the Showtime show,
Yeah.
he's got like it says tools, not drugs on the box.
Yeah.
And he opens it up and he's got like a file of fucking... I mean, for real, y'all. If you're trying to hide drugs, don't put tools, not drugs, directly on the box. Drugs, like he's got ketamine. He's got all sorts of fucking... Oh man, it's great.
But yeah, so what do? They take him out to the middle of nowhere at a cabin that's owned, that they rented. And they just happen to stumble across this book.
You know, you would think people would just learn, stay away from cabbages.
Yeah, stay away from cabbages. They give you gas.
Cabins in the woods, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and then, like, there's this one particular scene where the car is actually pulling up to the kid. Now, they say that when they were trying to film this, they had to do this shot several times to get it right, and the car actually ran out of gas. So they had to shoot it from a different angle so you didn't see the crew pushing the car up.
Yeah.
But the way it was shot is it was so eerie, like you knew. Like, this is going to be like, there's some shit going to go down here.
And
then they do a lot of that in this movie leading up to where the horror stuff starts.
The movie set out to be horrible, and that's what makes it a good movie.
Oh, yeah. Like Evil Dead was working on, and the Army of Darkness and all these movies were working on no budget. Or very little budget. So, again, a lot of these guys had to do their own stuff. They had to do their own stunts. Matter of fact, a lot of the actors had to help carry like cameras and equipment from one scene to the other because they didn't have the people. They didn't have enough money to hire people to do it for them.
Yeah, and evidently,
and Sam Raimi,
from the director of Spider-Man and Drag Me to Hell,
which is kind of funny because Bruce Campbell was in both of those movies.
Yeah,
and it was directed. And it was Sam Raimi that did it.
Was it Sam Raimi did the Spawn movie?
I believe so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Did not do Spawn. He did Darkman. I got it confused. It happened. Sorry, y'all. And there was an Army of the Darkness too, but it was more cartoonish than like an actual movie.
Hey, if you know what Sam Raimi did, when Sam Raimi did the Spawn movie, leave a comment down below because we really want to know.
That's probably my favorite part in the whole movie, where the little ones are attacking him.
Yeah.
And he ends up like drinking fucking hot liquid to kill him.
I remember when I was a kid and we go to like Blockbuster or some generic movie rental place. I always saw this on the shelves to rent, and every time someone would go to rent it, they're like, "Oh, well, it's already being rented out." Like all the copies they have been, because that's how bad and good this movie was. You couldn't find it for a while at rental stores.
Obviously, it makes our hit list.
I mean, just look at the case. I mean, that's a lot of bloodshed on that case. But it worked because this took horror comedy to a whole new level.
Right, there's never been another film like that.
No. I mean, they've tried.
Zombieland's the closest.
Zombieland is the closest.
Zombieland's not really slapsticky.
No, man.
Not like this.
It does have a lot of comedy, though.
It does.
But, yeah, just to see something that started out as two of the most gruesome horror movies to be put on the planet, to be here on Army of Darkness. I mean, it's a long way away. And he got a lot of crap for those two Army of Darkness movies because they were so gruesome.
All right, people, we have hit our smoking section of today's video.
Now, personally, I believe that I would like to see what the future holds for the Army of Darkness series. I would like to see them do another movie now.
Yeah.
And they can have what's going around now as the zombies.
Mm-hmm. Deadites are barely close to zombies, man.
Yeah. I would love to see a crossover of like Army of Darkness with Zombieland.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Like Bruce Campbell and Woody Harrelson for the first time in a movie together.
That'd be badass, actually.
But when you come down to Bruce Campbell, though, it's like if you want to shoot a B movie, you have like the Gold Star package, which is Bruce Campbell in your movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Silver package would be anybody else, and the Bronze Star is, well, anybody that's really needing a job in acting.
Right. Because that's where most B-rated people get their movies, just random people off the streets.
Yeah, or did they see it like at laundromats or something? They see a little sticker that says audition for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them turn out to be big movie stars.
Right, or they...
Like, look at Jennifer Aniston. She was in Leprechaun.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at her. She's a mega movie star and a TV star.
That's true. Or Jamie Lee Curtis.
She was in He-Man.
Yeah, but
Well,
she was also in
Scream.
Michael Myers.
No, that was Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's what I just said.
I thought you said Courtney Cox for some
No.
reason. No, I was saying Courtney Cox.
Because you got Cox on the mind.
Well, no, Courtney Cox was in Masters of the Universe, and then she went on to do Friends and all that. But
That's what it is. He assumed that I would say someone from Friends. He's not listening, y'all. Should I smack him?
but yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good stars that came out of B movies. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Stallone started in a softcore porn named Italian Stallion.
Yeah.
It's just all about timing and what you're going to do. You know, that's what it's always been about. What it's always going to be about. And Army of Darkness does take it to a new level. And Bruce Campbell, like I said,
They couldn't have picked a better actor for it. They couldn't have.
yeah, and he's been in a bunch of stuff. I mean, even if he did like a cameo in something,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they paid him good money just to do a 2-second cameo in like the Spider-Man movies or in or anything that he does, and
Right, that 2-second shot of his face at the end.
and then making him a main character in Burn Notice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that elevate. That was like, whoa, like this guy came out of nowhere as a sub character in Evil Dead to being on top of where he's at now, where in the reboot, they don't even have an Ashley character in the reboot. The closest thing they had to an Ashley character is a woman, and her name is not even Ashley. But she's supposed to portray his character.
Mm.
But they don't even use the name Ashley. I would have loved if they used the name Ashley for the female demographic. But please, like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell, because
Ding ding, y'all.
that bell, if you ring that bell, and we post a video, you'll get notified of that video.
Yep. And shout out to our 6 subscribers.
Our 6 subscribers, and hopefully by this time, when this video comes out, we'll have more subscribers.
Right.
So for our future subscribers, we thank you.
Yes, we do.
And we have some plans for our future. So a couple more themes coming up.
Right, we're talking about maybe doing superheroes for the July.
Superheroes in July.
Yeah.
I like that, superheroes in July. And because you know, patriotism, 4th of July.
Why not superheroes?
Why not superheroes? And we're not going to be talking about that crappy Independence Day movie.
No.
The second one. The first one was watchable, even though it's filled with lots of cliches.
Mm-hmm.
So please, tune in next time.
We haven't decided what our topic is, so it's question mark, question mark, question mark.
But if you have a topic for us to end our March in horror, leave a comment down below.
Well, this has been Lucky.
This has been the Big Dog.
Have a good night, y'all. Oh, y'all made it to another video with your boy Lucky. I liked Army of Darkness. I think this episode was a little humdrum, but we're still trying to get into the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all we can do is just keep trying and keep getting better for y'all. If you have anything you want to let me know, put it down in the comments. Have a good night, y'all.